and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Second down, 13. The 45 of Baltimore. Brunell back in the pocket. Has a bit of time now being chased. Plants throws. He's looking downfield. He's got a receiver. And it is caught. Jimmy Smith at the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Wayne starts for 45 yards.
Barks out the signals. Drops to throw. Has time. Fires the slant. Jimmy's got it this time. 35, 30. Middle of the field. 20. He's going to the 20-yard line. He's going to score. 10, 5. Jimmy Smith. Touchdown. And the Jaguars are right back in this ball game. Barks out the signals. Pressure coming. Steps up. Steps. Turns. Throws. He's got Jimmy. First down, 20. There he goes. 10, 5. Touchdown. Win. Jacksonville. Done under pressure. Steps to avoid. Turns and throws. He's got him in. Caught Jimmy inside the 40-yard line to the 37 and down to the 36.
Congratulations to Jimmy Smith. That is now his 800th career reception, and what a play to get it on.
This team winning right now, it helps bring so much attention to our franchise, what we did back in the day, like we were talking about, these Hall of Fame conversations. But when we're winning, we see the conversations pick up. So we have noticed that. So obviously, I'm pulling for my team to get to this Super Bowl.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, everybody. Happy Monday to you as we close out the month of June. Jaguars Today got the band all back together. Tony, good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
We got seconds left in the 9 o'clock nasty. Do we want to delve into Dylan's topic of conversation pre-show or not? What do you think?
We can.
Well, we could. It just turned 10 o'clock, though. Is the 9 o'clock nasty limited to the 9 o'clock hour?
I think we can extend it
anything beyond 9 o'clock?
for a little bit.
What do you think? I don't know.
It's all good. If we want to bring another podcast reference in there for these things, if we do want to dig into it, it would certainly classify under the range of vile horrendous.
It was definitely vile horrendous. Funny, hilariously horrendous. But yeah, Dylan was just telling us about some of the latest prison vernacular that's out there.
According to Danny Brown.
According to Danny Brown. You can look it up yourself. Yeah. I'm not going to get into the details of a Glock dookie, but you can look it up yourself. And so welcome back to me, Tone. And Dylan Denmark, good morning, sir.
What's up, Mike?
How are you?
I'm great, man.
How's everything?
Everything's good.
Yeah?
A little bit of golf, and I just chilled this weekend.
Yeah, we played. Dylan and I got 9 holes in yesterday. It was like so slow. It was like 2.5 hours. I had a group in front of us. You know how it goes. Everyone's always playing one tee box too many, right? They're playing 2 tee boxes too many. They're playing from the tips, and one guy in the group had business playing from back there, but the rest of them did not. And
yeah,
it's one of those days.
I can remember the advice my dad gave me when I was just starting to play golf. Right, like the thing he told me, because he knew I would take it too seriously if I was going to play. Like he knew that about me. He was like, "It's a game. It's supposed to be fun. So you play it as long as it's fun, and on the day it's not, take that day off, right? Like find something else to do." But the guys that are playing 2 or 3 boxes behind where they need to be, it's not even fun.
No.
Like have fun. You're interrupting everyone else's fun too by doing it that way. If you need to be playing the whites or the blues, then play the whites or the blues. There's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely.
Just do it.
I'll play whatever they let me play these days. I'm
right.
creeping up. I had a friend who was counting down the days till he could move up to the greens, and now he lords it over me every time we tee it up. Anyway, good to be back. Apparently, Tony, the world kept spinning while I was gone. Somehow, I don't know how the Jacksonville Jaguars managed this, but they managed to sign Travis Hunter to a contract. Who would have thunk that they were going to get that piece of business done at any point?
That's pretty much all you missed, yeah.
I know. Bashal Tutin also got his deal.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the headline-grabbing stuff, he did get his deal fully guaranteed, which, I mean, again, I bring this up every time we talk about signing bonuses, I think. For years, I just thought that meant you signed – that's when you get the bonus. It's not, okay, you sign it, you're going to get a signing bonus, but you're going to get some now. You get some in 3 months. You'll get some next year. And I've always been surprised that it's been that way for so long. Why call it a signing bonus then? I guess they have to call it something. It's not that big a deal. It doesn't really impact me at all. But if you're going to pay me that money, if it's a bonus that you're paying me, give it to me now. It works for me now. $30 million, whatever, in my bank account. can go to work for me as opposed to you holding on to it. But I said, look, if it gets a week within training camp, then I'll start to raise an eyebrow with this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, my level of concern for all of these things were such that when the Tootin news came out, I was like, oh, he hadn't signed?
Right.
Like,
oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
fine.
that was my reaction. It was like, oh, that hadn't got done yet? All right. Like, that's kind of how I feel about all the draft picks signing their deals. It's not as complicated as what's going on in some places.
Well, in the second round.
Yeah.
And that is interesting. If the Jags had a second-round pick, that pick would likely be unsigned right now.
Yeah, the way it's working.
And the way it's gone, the first two players of the second round got fully guaranteed contracts. And I think Jaden Higgins signed he was, I think, the second pick of round 2, right? Carson Schlesinger, the linebacker who went to the Browns, was actually the first pick of the round, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And Higgins, as the 34th overall pick, became the first second rounder to get a fully guaranteed rookie deal. And so certainly then the guy who went one pick ahead of him. Your Schlesinger, well, here's the new baseline. And the Browns, to their credit, got it done, gave him a fully guaranteed rookie contract, which all the first rounders have been getting now for a little while. But nobody in the second round beyond that has signed because nobody wants to be the one to break the lot. Well, if I am the 7th pick of the round, my owner's not going to give me a fully guaranteed deal until he sees it picks 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the round.
Yeah.
Got the deal. And if I don't take it, then everyone who's picked behind me is going to be upset with me because they're not going to have a chance to do it. And it's
hold the line, yeah.
You know, and that's kind of what it's down to right now. So for whatever little bit of drama there is with signing NFL rookie contracts, that's where it's residing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 30 consecutive picks. Yeah. So there is something to it.
Whether or not the Bengals get their deal done. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we'll see how it all plays out. But that's not something the Jags are going to have to worry about. We're not going to have to worry about signing a first-round pick next year, apparently.
No.
Either. A couple of mock drafts I saw out there. I don't even look at who, because generally they don't go into the second round, but I look to see where they would have had the Jags selecting. The two I glanced at, Matt Miller was one of them. He had him picking 12th next year. Cleveland, of course, owns the selection. The team who had the 12th pick this year was Dallas. They went 7-10 this year. Do you think Jaguar fandom would be okay with an arrow pointing up 7-10 like you did most of your damage in the second half of the season ended, strong? That would mean you're probably out of it by the, early part of November if you're really ending strong on a 7-10 record.
I think it would take something like that, but that does feel like kind of the floor of what I think fans would be okay with.
Yeah.
It's something like that happening.
Because what will happen, 7-10, let's say, maybe it gets you the 12th pick, maybe it gets you the 14th pick, maybe it gets you the 10th pick, right? You just don't know how the other things are going to play out. But let's say it in that range again, then you start bringing up, okay, well, what kind of rookie season did Travis Hunter have? What does this experiment look like now 1 year into it? How much of a full-time two-way player is he going to be? And is he worth the investment we gave in not having that second rounder next year? And then you finally start to see, look, if you make the playoffs next year, I don't think anybody's going to even talk and bring that up along the way, unless he's a complete flop, which I find it hard to believe that Travis Hunter's going to be a complete flop if he stays healthy. Saw him and the boys down there. Was it in the Bahamas that they're the
3 leading wide receivers and Trevor Lawrence are hanging out. Yeah,
which is good. But Trevor's done this before. Hasn't always produced great results. So
where do they usually go?
I don't know. Somewhere Cayman Islands. I don't know, man. Wherever rich people go. Where do rich people go, Dylan?
Not in Jacksonville.
No?
They go to the Caribbean somewhere.
Did I see when I was gone somebody named Jacksonville the most boring city in America?
Yes,
like that?
Some magazine said
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, get all those Yankees to stop moving down here.
Look, hey, I'm a former Yankee who moved down here, but
not in the last 5 years.
Am I grandfathered in?
Yeah.
All right, I appreciate that, Dylan Denmar. I've been down here longer than Dylan's been alive, but that's, other than that. No, I hear what you're saying. I don't want to hurt the tourism industry. There's a lot of tourism in Northeast Florida, but as far as that goes, nothing I say. People are not going to go, hey, I'm thinking of moving to Jacksonville. Let's tune into Jaguars today this morning and see if they have a comment on that. Get out! Don't come here. All right. No, I mean, look, it's why is it growing?
Kids on their skateboards.
Freaking great play. I almost said a bad word right there. I was going to say the other.
I had the button ready.
I really was going to say a fantastic word right there.
For what I want, it's perfect.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Yeah. Love Northeast Florida.
If this isn't what you want, you'll know it pretty quick. Don't come here.
Don't come here.
This
right?
isn't hard. I mean, if Miami is your thing, then go to Miami.
I get it. If I don't know what it's based on though. Like quality of life. If you're based on the club scene,
I think it's more entertainment purposes.
And that's fine.
Like that's fun. Like they don't have enough strip clubs. Like that's never
whatever.
Like the people who think that's important, that's never going to change.
Speaking of strip clubs, Dylan asked me today if that's what I was going to do with my son today. My son, 21 years ago. Popped into this world at St. Luke's right down the road on Belfort, baby.
Happy birthday, Colin.
21 years old today. I mean, there's no holding back the raging wave of time, Tony. It is passing me by as we speak. But Dylan said, what are you going to do with your son for his birthday? I guess I'm going to call him because he's with his girlfriend at her parents' place. Mm-hmm. So you see where I am in the pecking order. But we just spent the week up in Hilton Head with he and his young lady friend who also happens to be named Heather. So, right away, that's a pretty good start in the Dempsey family. But happy 21st to my man out there who's guaranteed to not be listening to Jaguars Today this morning as he vacations up in Virginia right now. My man's on a perpetual vacation, Tone. I mean, honest to goodness, it feels that way to me. School's way too easy for him. I don't know. I feel like more hardship. He needs more hardship in his life, but
it'll get there.
I've probably given him all I can at this in these first 21 years. The tether. I'll always be there for him, but he is untethered and free floating as we speak. All right, today, Tony, we're looking at the face of the franchise for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, and I think if you're truly talking about the face of the franchise, you have a broader discussion. You include ownership, you include coaching staff, front office, all these candidates, at least, in the discussion. But what I didn't want to do is pick one from Group A, one from Group B, and then in the process, leave out some players who I think are more deserving of our respect because of what they've accomplished in this uniform. Because Travis Hunter has to be in this poll, right? He has to be. He is, in some ways, probably, to us, it may be Trevor Lawrence, maybe not, maybe somebody else, but he's growing as the guy that people want to talk about. We saw Ian Rappaport talk about that, right, a few weeks ago. Like, hey, we're talking about the Jags 3 times as much as we ever have over on NFL Network because of his presence there. So we limited it to 4 players. If you don't like the 4 options, if you think it's another player, and we're only asking you who the player is that represents that. Maybe you think there is no face of the franchise right now. But obviously we put the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, in there. And as I mentioned, we're going to have Travis Hunter in there. But I felt like if we put those two and, say, Liam Cohen and Shad Khan or something like that, well, what I don't want to do, and I mentioned this with Dan and Jeff, I don't want to just be blowing past the incredible productive season that Brian Thomas Jr. Put up last year. He is the best offensive player they have. And that doesn't necessarily equate to the face of the franchise, right? And I understand that. But I wanted to put him in the poll, so we did. And we put Josh Hines down as our defensive representative in there. I can make a case for Trayvon, absolutely. But those are the 4 we went with. Trevor, Travis Hunter, BT, and should we start calling him BTJ more? Right? That's what our BT more.
That rolls more. The 3 letters rolls
BTJ rolls more, but they all the players and the coaches all call him BT. So that's clearly, I think, what he prefers to go by, right?
That has to be some express preference of some sort.
I'll try to do better on that, BT. And Josh Hines out. Those are your 4 choices. So you can vote today on that if you'd like or discuss it with us. We're going to go through not only that, but who are the other candidates for the Jags and then broaden it out to the rest of the league. How often is it simply just, hey, the quarterback's the face of the franchise and it's that simple? Well, it's not quite that simple. And if you go through the mental exercise, it's a little more difficult than you think it might be otherwise. But today, 641-1010. Tony on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines if you want to get in. Same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. man, it's like I haven't forgotten anything. First day back. Also, you can join us in the YouTube virtual studio. Hop in the chat there. We stream on Facebook, Twitter, all over the place. You can find us somewhere that you want to watch us, that you probably have on your phone or other device. Also, hit us up with the poll results, your vote today, at MD_1010XL. And don't forget, at 1010XL Fat Tony and at 1010XL Denmark.
No, they making Glock dookies.
I knew it.
A Glock dookie.
Exactly. All right. No further details on that.
I went on YouTube. I searched Glock Dookie. Apparently, there's Glock Dookie stories from people that have been in prison. So I got a lot of content to check up on.
There's a lot. Right. And you can do that on your own time. Okay.
And I'll keep it to myself.
Like everyone in this room and the spirit of my son, we're all 21 or older. Yeah. Right. You can look up Glock Dookie if you like. Or you can think better of it and not.
Like, here's a headline for you. King Yella on King Lil J beating up the guy who hit him with a Glock Dookie. He's still gangster.
That totally makes sense. I mean, now in context.
The word is very descriptive.
It really is, right? It doesn't take much imagination, you know? It's like, you're like, oh, it probably involves that. Yet you'd be correct. Mm-hmm. All right, you'd be correct. Straight from the desk of one Dylan Denmark. All right, so we come back, Tone. Let's see where the poll stands. We just threw it out there about 45 minutes ago, but let's talk about other candidates. Like, if it weren't going to be a player for the Jags that we'd put forth as the face of the franchise, first of all, is there a clear face of the franchise? Who might that be? Who are the other candidates? And then we'll broaden that out around the rest of the league. I hope you stick around with us today, talking Jaguar football and beyond. Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Door Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Big moment. Play-by-play is full of plot twists.
Did that just happen?
And high-octane drama.
And this game is tied.
Experience the most play-by-play sports on 1010XL.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Plumbing problems, AC not blowing, septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call Duck Rooter. Waddle over to DuckDuckRooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through June 30th. And financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
Sun's out. Deals on at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Summer's here, and so are the flavor-packed deals. Like a Yingling beer-battered fish sandwich, chicken salad lettuce wraps, or the combo basket. All for under $14. Craving more? Add 3 bone-in wings to any handheld or entree for just $3.49. Sip on a refreshing peach tea cocktail, or grab an ice-cold Michelob Ultra. Perfect for patio season. Summer's never tasted this good. Find yours at hurricanewings.com.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com, powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Are you living with diabetic neuropathy? That pain and numbness in your hands or feet? What about chronic knee or shoulder pain? Maybe you've tried various treatments, but they've been ineffective. Now there's a solution. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso specializes in advanced pain management and offers breakthrough neuromodulation treatments for those conditions. His innovative treatments target the source of your pain, offering relief where medications may fall short. All procedures are performed outpatient with no hospitalization required. Just a chance for you to feel and live better. If you want to learn more, Dr. Formoso is hosting free informational classes where he'll explain the benefits of neuromodulation therapies and how they can help eliminate your pain. Spaces are limited, so call to reserve your spot now with offices on the South Side, West Side, and Jacksonville Beach. Relief is possible with Formoso Spine and Joint Pain Specialists.
The rumors and trades.
That is the game within the game.
The decisions and deadlines.
Our work is not done now.
The off-season overflows with surprising storylines.
I'm all ears.
Let AA Automotive and 1010XL guide you through the off-season.
Yo, it's your main man ET here for Explore Clay. And Clay County is your destination this 4th of July. Start the morning with the Freedom 5K in Keystone Heights. Medals for the first 300 finishers and a scenic course through the shaded neighborhoods. Then enjoy the 57th annual celebration at City Hall with vendors, live music, and family fun. Wrap up the day at Moose Haven in Orange Park for the American Pride 4th of July, a free Riverside event with food, live entertainment, and fireworks over the St. Johns River. Discover more at exploreclay.com.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
Hey, Dylan, give me De'Ami Brown's Twitter handle, please. Make sure I'm on the same page as you.
This was his Instagram.
You put it on his Instagram? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Give him at Deuce2_ or is that somebody else?
_ De'Ami Brown.
That's Twitter?
This is Instagram.
Instagram. All right. I think he's Deuce2_ on.
Yeah, that's right.
On Twitter. But he only has like 9,000 followers, and it says these posts are protected. You have to click follow and see if he welcomes me into the tribe. But new video posted up.
Yeah, the workout video with the receivers, the three of them.
Need a full description. What do you got?
Travis Hunter. Let's see here. Trevor Lawrence is in a shoulder pads, no jersey, hat. And the rest of them are just running around in a T-shirt and shorts.
Shoulder pads, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
but no jersey.
No jersey. Play action here. Running a bunch of 5-yard ins and outs. Timing routes.
Kind of a little odd. Just wearing shoulder pads
video.
And a little friendly throw around. But
well, it's hot.
Was that Cam Little?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, why wear even shoulder pads? You're just throwing routes and stuff. Mm-hmm. But, hey, whatever. That's fine. As long as he's out there throwing, it's good to hear that he's throwing. What about a sleeve? We got a sleeve on?
I did not see a sleeve.
Okay.
No sleeve.
I respect the sleeve, man. I can't play golf without a sleeve right now, Tone, on the left arm. The left arm is the elbow is old man elbow is catching up with me. Somebody just wished me happy birthday. I think they misinterpreted here. Or maybe they're trying to speak to my son through the text line. Happy birthday. Come on. I'll take you bar hopping at the beach bars. Ritz, Bricks, Mangoes, Surfers. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my birthday, but it is Mike Tyson's birthday, I believe. I remember noting that when the young lad was born.
It is his birthday, June 30th, 1966.
Who else you got? Anybody good? Famous birthdays for today? Colin Dempsey. Famous birthdays, June 30th, 2025. Here we go. List of famous birthdays. Oh, Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
go back
good.
to the 1700s.
Michael Phelps would be the athlete, it looks like.
Michael Phelps and Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's pretty good. We've noted this before, like the pairings of, what is it? Is it Michael Jordan and Jim Brown? Or it's like Tiger,
It's
LeBron.
Michael Jordan, Jim Brown, and LeBron James, I believe.
No. It's four guys. Michael Jordan, Jim Brown, Tiger Woods, LeBron James. Two of them each share a birthday.
I think it's Tiger and LeBron.
Tiger and LeBron?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
Whatever the case. Tony's digging it up right now.
Yeah.
Crack research.
It's like December 30th.
Yeah, Michael Jordan and Jim Brown on the same day.
Michael Jordan, Jim Brown, same day. So then Tiger and LeBron are the same day. It's just one of those evergreen little one. I think we ran it the last time one of their birthdays occurred last year, just as a bonus poll, and I think people just voted for the Jordan side of that. Like, they love Jordan. They love some Jordan. And I get it. Like, hey, Jim Brown versus Tiger Woods. Jim Brown, arguably the greatest running back of all time. Tiger Woods is probably the second best golfer of all time.
Yeah,
but
Jack probably holds that crown.
right, because of longevity and everything. But at his peak, I mean, Tiger right there on that level. Anyway, happy birthday to all who turn whatever they turn today. All right, face of the Jaguars franchise. If it was not going to be a player, who's the best candidate, Tony, for the Jags right now, current today?
This Baselli, not even a thought for me.
I mean, he's a candidate, but I wouldn't like. I went through every team. We all did this today. We'll kind of go through all the teams and see what we come up with. But there was no front office type that made the list.
I think if I'm trying to put myself in the headspace of not being someone from here,
right,
and I think outside of here, Fred would have a better chance to be that. Right? Like,
I don't count Fred. That like Fred works on the broadcast team, but did people make that connection, or are they just thinking about him as the all-time face of the franchise guy?
Kind of that.
See, that's not what I'm thinking. I'm talking about like who is the current active in the organization. And you could stretch that to say Fred is because of his game day broadcast duties, but I don't think people would make that connection. Like, I don't think people outside of Jacksonville necessarily know Fred Taylor's on the team's broadcast crew, just like we wouldn't know who's on the Cardinals.
That's where I don't think outside of Jacksonville people think about Big Bo all that much. That's our guy.
I agree.
Right? Like, they know he's a Hall of Famer, maybe. Right? Like, there's not even 100% guarantee that they know that about Tony Baselli. But if you were to ask outside of Jacksonville, I think it's tight between Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter. I do. I think it's pretty tight, but I would go Trevor.
a year from now, I think you could easily make the case for Travis Hunter. But so who else, though, outside of the players, who are your candidates? I think Shad Khan's got to be one.
Shad, I guess. Yeah. Liam Cohen.
They're probably the two.
Yeah.
Right?
Because of all the stories with him this offseason. Yeah.
I mean, there's no one, grizzled defensive coordinator that's been here for a decade or anything like that.
Nothing else
just walked in the door,
close.
though.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean, did you, in going around, don't tell me who it is if you did, is how many, off the top of your head, how many newcomers are the face of a team's
I didn't
franchise?
go through the whole thing to know.
Okay, well, we're going to.
Yeah.
So I
wanted to keep it fresh when we were going through it.
No, I got you. Because I definitely think there are some that would qualify because there are some pretty nondescript teams out there. And I think you can make that case, as Dr. Cliffy said on Twitter, basically, if you've got a quarterback who's the number one overall pick and you gave him a $50+ million a year contract, he better be the face of your franchise. I do think Trevor Lawrence is the current face of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I think that's a tenuous hold that he's got on it because of the star power that Travis Hunter drags with him into the National Football League, and he'll be the more talked about player, at least for if there's a highlight, Trevor Lawrence can throw that touchdown to Travis Hunter. It's going to be about Travis Hunter's touchdown more so than Trevor Lawrence threw another touchdown. I think that's the approach, the way it'll be framed by the national people.
It was interesting. Travis Hunter and his media people, they put out their video of him doing the signing or the public appearance over at Dick's Sporting Goods. I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, when the public could come out and meet Travis Hunter. And I think, Trevor Lawrence would have had a similar kind of thing if he was doing something like that going into his rookie year. And I think if he did one now, it would be kind of similar. But you do watch the one with Travis Hunter, and it's young people walking in there that are they can't believe they're in the presence of Travis Hunter. Right? Like, I'm about to shake Travis Hunter's hand and take a picture with him, and they're looking at him like, you're my favorite. You've been my favorite now for 5 years. Can't wait to see what you're doing in a Jaguars. Like, you can see young people getting nervous to be around Travis Hunter, right? And I think the only other player on the team that has that kind of sway to them right now, I think, and at that kind of level, is Trevor Lawrence, because he's the quarterback. But Travis Hunter, especially, and we've talked about this with Dylan, with the young fans out there, he is the guy.
Sure. I think a lot of it has to do with personality, too. Yeah. I mean, he's a great player, and what he's trying to accomplish is unprecedented in the last 6 decades.
Absolutely.
But he also is doing it in a way where he just kind of bounces through life, you know? And I don't mean that he doesn't take it seriously. It's just that
it was
he
kind
has
of
this
fun.
enjoyment level to everything he does.
Yeah, like one of the kids walks up to him and asks Travis, he's like, so what's your position? He's like, you tell me. The kid's like, well, I know you play both sides. I'm asking you which position is yours. He's like, you tell me. Like he wouldn't bite on it all. And the kid finally goes, and he walks away. Like he was trying to get the answer for everyone, it felt like, in his own mind. And Travis just like, nah, I do both. Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, when we come back, let's go around the AFC and see what we can determine for some of these franchises. And what does it say if you have difficulty determining who the face of a franchise is? Is it even important? It's not necessarily important to winning, but I think if you're winning, you naturally develop a good cast of candidates. By the way, on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, shoulder pads, because Trevor practices how he plays. You never make throws in a game without pads on, so why practice without them? Then they add the always sincere, hope that helps. Did Trevor have a helmet on today, Dylan?
He didn't. He had a hat on.
Does he play in a hat?
No, he don't. He don't.
What about a jersey? You said he didn't have a shirt
jersey
on, right? So he plays in a shirt, right? That's odd. I understand why guys would practice in certain things, but you also generally never see that in this particular setting. It's more about timing. I have no issue with him doing it. Just why shoulder pads as opposed to why not the thigh pads? Why not everything? If you're going to go for it, throw in what you throw in. Put the helmet on. Put some cleats. Let's go and rip the ball around. Whatever they're doing, I just hope it works. I hope that timing is there. Hope that accuracy is there, and that chemistry right off the rip, man. Because time to hit the ground running for this Jacksonville Jaguar franchise is week 1 against Carolina. I don't want to sit through watching the stock ticker tell me where Cleveland's pick is going to fall in the top 10 next year, courtesy of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So when we return, let's get into it. Who are some of the other faces of franchises in the AFC? And today's Chad and Sandy Real Estate question of the day, asking you which player would hold that title for your Jacksonville Jaguars. You can vote on that at MD_1010XL. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
And now for something completely different.
1010XL can now be heard on your radio.
Now you can listen.
From sunup to sundown.
You can play it all day long.
New and improved.
This radio station will remain on the air.
1010XL.
I invite you now to listen.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Frank Franzi here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville's full of memorable sports moments. Remember Tiger Woods' 60-foot putt on the iconic 17th? Gary Coate called it better than most. Better than most. Well, Coil Fencing is better than most. They're better than all. Coil has been that for nearly 100 years. So if you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coil & Sons today. That's at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Frank Frangie here to tell you about the coolest new thing, a putting green in my backyard that my friends at Sunshine Turf installed. Sunshine Turf can do the same for you. They'll come to your house, they'll create a custom design for your space, and you'll have an authentic golf course experience right in your own backyard. I freaking love it. Sunshine Turf is family owned and they made the process so simple. So visit sunshineturf.info or call them at 904-383-0243 and get a free quote today for your own putting green. Get it from Sunshine Turf.
Jaguars Today Monday is built by Dream Finders Homes.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mia here, and I love my custom closet from Closets by Design. With summer in full swing, having my warm weather wardrobe front and center is a game changer. No more digging for the right outfit on a hot day. If your home needs a summer refresh, whether that be a closet, a garage, or a pantry, schedule a free in-home consultation with Closets by Design. And the offer has been extended, folks. Receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. And free installation on any order of $750 or more. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on. Temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the screen, sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Peaches Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at peachesdermatology.com.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water at my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com
so you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reese Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
This 4th of July, Navy Mutual would like to salute Ted Williams as our hero in sports. A flight instructor during World War II, Williams flew 39 combat missions in the Korean War and still made 19 All-Star Game appearances. What a legend.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Caliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, more Jaguars today on 1010XL.
Oh, on the text line, Tony, we have good intel right here. Going back and forth to somebody who asked, hey, what other team's face of the franchise is not their quarterback? And I said, probably more than you think. And, and you're not going to agree with everyone that we put forth as the representative for every team. No. But certainly there are teams where you're like, I don't know if anybody's really the face of this franchise yet.
It's a gut reaction kind of thing. A team will be named, and that's what pops in my head. Yeah.
Which current member of the organization do you think of the most? And so I said, hey, we're going to go through all of them and see if you agree or disagree. Say, cool, love the show. Also, it's my wife's birthday today. Happy birthday to Mrs. Text Line person. All right? Or, whatever. So there you go. Did I just see it? Is this right? Jalen Ramsey traded, or is this fake news, Tone? I don't know.
I have not seen that.
Somebody just hit me up with that. It's not like, if you got me, you got me. I don't know. But I'm seeing Jalen Ramsey traded to the Steelers, but I do not know if that's...
yeah, that's it.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's the official one. The Miami Dolphins have agreed to trade three-time Pro Bowler Jalen Ramsey to the Steelers. That's part of the trade. Ramsey will get $1.5 million raise this season, bringing his 2025 compensation up to $26.6 million.
He gets a raise for getting traded?
According to Adam Schefter.
Like, what the hell? I don't understand that, man. Whatever. So, what did they get in return? I got caught up in Jalen getting more money.
No compensation there.
Crying his way out of another situation.
The Steelers are all in on 25, aren't they?
I guess.
We got 1 year Aaron Rodgers. Let's bring in Jalen.
Yeah.
They're all in.
That's what they're doing. So this, NFL or ProFootballRumors.com is kind of a sketchy site out there. I think I might have them blocked on social media. I will say this. I might have tweeted 3-4 times on vacation.
Yeah.
I probably blocked 200 people. Like I scroll and I'm like, nope, gone. If you try the bait and switch with anything like, hey, look at this for this reason, and you get there and it's like not the reason that they drew you in, you're gone. You don't get a second chance. Anyway, they had just posted yesterday evening, Steelers likely out on cornerback Jalen Ramsey. So, wow. Evergreen, huh? Evergreen. So, hey, former Jaguar Jalen Ramsey goes to the Steelers. Big whoop to do. Why don't we start there, Tony? Who's the face of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt. Dylan Denmark. Who's the face of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. I'm with you 100%. Mike Tomlin. TJ Watt's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's their best player. But I definitely think that, when I think Steelers, I think Mike Tomlin. It's like the coach's way, his philosophy, and part of it is Pittsburgh's treatment of coaches over the years. Hire a guy, and he stays there forever, right? And Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season with Pittsburgh. I can totally understand the TJ Watt side of it, but I do think Mike Tomlin is one of the rare coaches that people may, hard to say who would take less money to play anywhere, but people would be more inclined, like they would use Mike Tomlin as a tiebreaker. If it's close between this destination and that destination, I think the Steelers and Team X have about an equal amount of chance to go to the postseason, give me my playing time, all that. I think Mike Tomlin's a deciding factor for them in a lot of cases.
Could be, yeah.
So, all right, let's go through the AFC North while we're there. Dylan Denmark, you're up on this one. Baltimore Ravens, who's the face of the franchise?
Lamar Jackson.
Got to be Lamar, right? I mean, how many MVPs now for Lamar?
I lost count.
Is it 2?
I think it's 2.
Yeah, I think it's 2.
Could have won a third last year, but 2.
Right. Could have won a third. And, Harbaugh's been there a long time as well, but I don't think of him. I don't know if I've ever thought of him as the pure face of that franchise.
No, and I don't know that there would be anywhere in the league, basically, that you would have a guy that is a multiple-time league MVP, right? Like, once you're at that kind of level, at that position,
you're the guy.
That's the guy everyone thinks of when they think of your organization.
Right. All-time, you're talking Ray. Who's the all-time Steelers face of the franchise? I don't know if we should do the all-time. We might get way bogged down here.
Yeah.
Is it Bradshaw? Is it...
Probably because he does TV.
That's a good point, right? That does factor in how people think of you and remember you and all that. I mean, Mean Joe Green?
Yeah, Pittsburgh has so many guys that were all kind of different styles, right? Like, it was kind of whatever, like Franco could be your guy.
I mean, back in the day, that Coke commercial with Mean Joe is one of the most iconic commercials of all time.
Yeah, like I can bring it into my own house. My mom grew up a Steelers fan. Lynn Swann was her guy.
Sure.
Right? Like,
some people would say Bettis, right? It depends on your generation, right?
They've had it for 50 years. They've been this kind of thing. So.
Bill Cowher, prolific Ponte Vedra homeowner. Bill Cowher. Allegedly.
Rumored to be.
Allegedly. Ravens is obviously Ray Lewis, right? All-time face of the franchise? Who would top Ray Lewis?
Yeah, nobody.
Right? All right. Current guy for the Bengals, I put Joe Burrow.
I did too.
Same.
Right? All-time face of the Bengals, maybe Joe Burrow? I don't know. Ken Anderson? Boomer?
Yeah.
Boomer be the only one.
Why did his name escape me?
Corey Dillon?
What's that?
Corey Dillon?
No, I'm thinking, who's the left tackle? Come on.
Anthony
Munoz, sorry. Can you be the face of the franchise if Dempsey brain cramps on your name at 10:44 in the morning on his first day back?
Right.
He might be, though. Like Anthony Munoz, the greatest to ever do it at his position.
Yeah.
For
It's
a team
hard
that's
for an
never won a
offensive lineman to
championship.
do it, but yeah.
He
it's
might
one
be.
of the
He'd
few
be in
spots where he would be in the discussion.
All right, so we all agree on Burrow. All right, Browns I thought were
Myles Garrett.
Were tough. I went Myles Garrett as well. Who'd you go with, though?
I went with the Haslam family, the owners, because they're terrible.
Okay.
That's the reason why they're terrible.
I was tempted to say Deshaun Watson because as long as he's there, he's like the stink of the franchise. You know, he's like the cloud that hangs over everything that they've done. When you talk about, well, man, they got 4 quarterbacks. No, they have 5. Okay, no, they actually have 5 because they gave this contract. But that does tie in that Haslam's. But I agree with you, Tone. I think it is Myles Garrett here.
And Jim Brown.
Well, all time, of course. Yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, Myles Garrett, best player on the team without dispute.
Yes.
And, so.
He's the guy that's going to be a Pro Bowler for him every year, pretty much. So,
I mean, here's a guy who, at one point in time, was probably equally as infamous for, if not best known for, taking his helmet off and hitting Mason Rudolph over the head with it.
Yeah, not a shining moment.
Now, but alleged to have been...
There was a word used.
A word used that never should get used ever. So I don't know. But that's what I would go on that. Dylan goes Haslam's. All right. AFC East, Tony. Bills.
Josh Allen.
Got to be Josh Allen.
Yep.
Right? All time? OJ?
Thing is, when you say OJ, you don't think of a Buffalo Bill. You think of all of the other stuff and the football.
You do, because you never, you know what I mean? Like, I agree. Most people do, including myself.
I think if it's the answer probably is OJ all time.
Is it?
Because he probably was the best player to
Bruce
ever
Smith?
put on that uniform. Bruce Smith is in there too.
I think Bruce Smith's better than OJ.
But the infamous nature of OJ kind of makes him like, that's the guy that I think people, I don't know how directly they attach it to the Bills.
Jim Kelly's a good one too, Jed. He's
Jim
beloved,
Kelly's not
man.
bad. No,
he's beloved. All right, anyway, we all agree Josh Allen's the guy, okay? For the Jets.
First name that comes to mind for me is Sauce Gardner.
The owner.
Even that's kind of weak.
Woody Johnson is who you're going with?
Yeah. With the Browns, terrible. They haven't made the playoffs in 15 years, mainly because of him.
I mean, can it be Justin Fields? Because he just got there? He's not that good.
He's going to be there this year. He's going to be gone.
Like, if he was more ballyhooed, right, in his career, and he was a huge get, then maybe so. But I went with Aaron Glenn. Like to me, because he's trying to redefine the entire organization, right? To give it that level of professionalism.
He is.
I think this is a team that doesn't have a clear, simple answer.
No.
Do it. So we went 3 different directions on that. Sauce Gardner's I was thinking more Garrett Wilson even than Sauce Gardner, just because people think of offensive guys more than they think of defensive guys, I think as a general rule. All right, Dolphins. Dylan, who you got?
I put Tyreek Hill.
So did I.
Did you?
Yeah, it's not Tua and it's not anybody
Is it
else
not?
on the
I
team.
put Tua. I was going to have Jalen on there, but circumstances.
Tyreek Hill is
I'm
just
kidding.
Tyreek Hill is always like, it's not just football with him. You know,
Tua's too quiet.
Yeah.
Tyreek is loud,
and he's been in the news.
But I feel like Tyreek can a guy who feels like he's perpetually on the trading block be the face of the franchise?
He's always out there
until they trade him. Yes,
right. Like he's the guy that's always in the news. Like Tua is just nah.
What are you running his latest 100, Dylan?
10-10.
10-10? Hey, I like that number. 10-10, and what was that, wind aided? Or
yeah, it was wind aided. The wind was 2.7, so if it's over 2.0, it's not wind. It's
Didn't
not
he just
legal.
run like a 10-5 or something?
He ran a 10-15.
He
2
ran
weeks ago.
10-15, 10-1-5.
Yep.
So this was a 10-1-0.
Yes.
I got it. Okay. I was thinking completely. When you told me that yesterday, I'm like, 10-10, that seems like he did 10-5, and I'm thinking 10-10 slower than, no, it's not. It's faster because I'm stupid. All right, Tyreek, 2 for Tyreek. No love for Mike McDaniel, huh?
No. He's going to be fired by the end of the year.
Oh, well, Tyreek might get traded tomorrow. We don't know.
That's the thing. I mean,
I
think of this.
I got you. I still went with Tua. All right, who you got for the Patriots, Tone?
Drake, man.
Dylan?
I'll slightly lean Mike Vrabel.
That was the decision, right? Like, new coach, trying to build him in the image. I went with Tony with Drake May here. Quarterback, highly regarded, pretty well-considered rookie season, right? Like, you know, didn't show you anything that you said, oh, man, terrible mistake by the Patriots to draft Drake May. Just couldn't have done it. Yeah, I don't think, all-time. Who would the all-time face of the Patriots be, Tone? Come on, people. Even I know that one.
Yeah.
All right?
Who's the
Steve
all-time-
Grogan.
Like it is
Right.
what it is. Joe Namath is the answer for the Jets, and that's fine.
Joe Namath is the answer for the Jets. Tom Brady is the answer for the Patriots, more so than Belichick to me. Will be, and obviously they're right there. And then did we nail that whole division?
Yeah,
I think
we haven't
did.
done the South or the West yet.
All right, this is going a little slower than I thought. So we'll jump back into the other AFC side. There are some debates where teams have multiple, like you're like, dang, he's one of the top faces of the league. And so is he. And those are coming up here as well. Do vote in today's poll today, the Chad and Sandy real estate question today, asking you, if you're choosing amongst players, which player do you think is the face of the franchise for the Jacksonville Jaguars currently today on June 30th, 2025? Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Your place for Jags news. Jacksonville Sports Superstation has the Jaguars covered. 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to i9sports.com with summer and fall registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
Sun's out, deals on at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Summer's here, and so are the flavor-packed deals, like a Yingling beer-battered fish sandwich, chicken salad lettuce wraps, or the combo basket, all for under $14. Craving more? Add 3 bone-in wings to any handheld or entree for just $3.49. Sip on a refreshing peach tea cocktail, or grab an ice-cold Michelob Ultra. Perfect for patio season. Summer's never tasted this good. Find yours at hurricanewings.com.
Dreamfinders Homes Monday on Jaguars Today.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and the 4th of July weekend is upon us. And I know what you're thinking. I can't start Awaken 180 weight loss because I want to eat on that long weekend. Well, guess what? You can eat hamburgers on Awaken 180 weight loss. You can eat chicken, steak, or pork, too. You can even eat lobster because you're eating real food and losing weight. More important, it's fast, easy, and safe. No chemicals in your body, no counting calories or points, or any other fad diet. I can't stress this enough. You eat real food every single day. You know what else you're doing while losing weight with Awaken 180? Eliminating pain, fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed and energized. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and Hacker lost more than 110. You can lose whatever you want. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely by eating real food every single day. Awaken 180 weight loss is the clear path to success without disappointment. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars, to trucks, to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is Max Fink with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at kuhnflowers.com.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. The NBA released its summer league schedule as rookies were introduced around the league after the draft's completion. The Magic will get just one game on the ESPN family of networks, but have a lot of early times for the league's summer showcase. They will open up the summer league on July 10th versus the Sacramento Kings. You can catch that at 7:30 p.m. on NBA TV, followed by Toronto on July 13th, the Thunder on July 15th. They'll finish out with Brooklyn on July 15th if there is a fifth game. Right now, it is to be dated. News around the NFL, the Miami Dolphins have agreed to a trade with the Pittsburgh Steelers to send cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Steelers. Right now, 84 degrees at 10:55, time and 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars today, kicking off hour number 2 here. Dylan, you had a good idea for the Tuesday top 5. I know that's rare.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan, a good idea, but you did. What was your thought for tomorrow?
I said the top 5 things the Jaguars have to do this season in order for them to have a winning season. So they have to have 9 wins or more.
All right, to have a winning season. Oh, it's kind of like Keys to Victory Friday, Tony.
Yeah.
Writ large is what it'll be. So we'll post something up later on today. By the way, Tommy Mack in several days last week.
I did, yep.
Jamal St. Cyr in, so appreciate those guys hopping in while I was gone. Let's see. Several people put forth Ocho or Chad Johnson, however you want to call him, for the Cincinnati Bengals all-time face of the franchise. Which is reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't think that's unreasonable. Somebody said they'd say Jerome Bettis or Bill Cowher as the all-time faces of the Steelers franchise. Again, I think that's very generational.
It's an era thing.
Right? What you watched. If you grew up in the 70s, I don't think there's any way you would put one of those guys ahead of somebody from that 4-time Super Bowl winning team, but maybe not. Somebody said Ed Reed is the Ravens all-time face of the franchise. Ed Reed's a phenomenal player. Strongly disagree. I think it's easy, Ray Lewis. As great as Ed Reed was as a player, you can argue Ed Reed, was he a better safety than Ray Lewis was a linebacker? That's fine. Have that conversation. I just think Ray Lewis was kind of the defining feature of that team for a long time. Ickey Woods, somebody put forth. I don't think so. I wouldn't agree with that. Let's see. Anyway, all right, let's hop back into it. Let's rip through the rest of these teams in the AFC. We got to go around the league coming up here as well. Tone, face of the Kansas City Chiefs is whom?
It's Mahomes, but he and Andy Reid are doing all they can to get me to switch my insurance. Like, they are pushing hard for us to do that kind of thing, but I would go with Mahomes.
And then you got, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, who is his
biggest
profile
pop star in the world is dating the tight end.
Right. Has been raised. It had to be Mahomes for me as well.
Yeah.
Dylan Denmark.
Same.
All right. I'm sorry. Andy Reid, you're great.
Mm-hmm.
You were really good.
Yeah.
Without Mahomes.
Like, if you were asking me which of them is better in the ads, Andy's much more entertaining. Yeah.
Sure.
Than Mahomes is in those.
I think this is one that you could, if you said Andy Reid, I get it. But if we continually say Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the National Football League, come on. What are we doing?
Yeah.
This is tough, I thought. The LA Chargers.
Herbert.
Dylan.
You can go with Harbaugh, but Herbert.
Dylan.
I say Harbaugh.
Tony dismissed us, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could go with Harbaugh, but you'd be wrong. I went with Harbaugh as well. Herbert, to me, is just a little he's very good, but he's this big, strapping guy that sometimes puts up big stats and isn't known for winning much. Right, at least so far. I went with Harbaugh as well. I think just his influence on the entire culture of the organization, more far-reaching. Same deal here with the Broncos. Dylan, who'd you go with the Broncos?
Sean Payton.
Tony?
Super Bowl, known with the Saints, but he holds more weight than Bo Nix.
Okay. Tone?
Yeah, it was debate between those two guys. I'd go Payton.
I would too, but I wrote them both down. This is one of the ones I wrote down. 2 names because I do think Bo Nix could overtake him. That's close, right? I mean, the best player on the team is Pat Surtain.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously. By the way, all-time, Chiefs all-time guys, Mahomes, to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Chargers all-time guy, LaDainian Tomlinson, Dan Fouts. Probably one of those.
Gates.
2. Gates, another good one. I'd be partial to Tomlinson there.
Me too.
Broncos, obviously, Elway. Raiders, current Raider, face of the franchise, Tony.
I think it's Genty.
Okay, Dylan?
Pete Carroll.
I put Carroll, but I put them both. I think it's Carroll just ahead of Genty. I think Carroll's the kind of coach, we know his backstory. We know, what I mean? We know who he is. We know he's had a championship pedigree, and he's got this kind of infectious personality to go along with it. I went Carroll by a nose over Genty. I think it'll be Genty as the season maybe plays out.
Yeah.
You know, who's the all-time Raider?
Ooh.
Madden?
Yeah, with the video game.
Tim Brown.
Tim Brown's a good one. I mean, there were so many guys, you know.
Al Davis.
Al Davis is a great one.
Al Davis is probably
right?
the answer.
Al Davis probably is the answer, right? I mean.
Like the Raider way is Al Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many guys, though, on the Raiders that you think of. All right. AFC South. Who we got for the Colts?
Jonathan Taylor.
That's who I went with, too. Dylan?
I went with Ballard. When I think of the Colts logo, I think of Ballard. He's been there for a while.
Dude, I would have said Jim Irsay had he not passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I would, because I do think he was one of those out front owners that, you know, kind of like a lightning rod for attention. You're saying, Dylan?
No, I put Jonathan Taylor initially, but I didn't think he carried that much weight over Ballard. Because Ballard's the one that makes all the decisions. He's been there a while. You know, I know a lot of people have been calling for his job, but Jonathan Taylor's been banged up, you know, quite a bit the last couple of years. I mean, had he put up, you know, close to 2,000 yards the last 3 years, you know, every season? Maybe, but I went with Ballard.
Okay. Yeah, Taylor for me, fairly easily. I don't know if any, well, I shouldn't say no GMs got consideration here. Texans. I got Stroud.
Yep.
Yeah. D'Amico be number 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's another single player, you know, that you think of ahead of that. Will Anderson maybe their next best player, but
something in there.
Nico Collins, I don't know. Whoever you want to put. Titans.
Cam Ward.
Same.
Yeah, me too. Right? It's so here you got, what does that tell you about the franchise? Well, it tells you
how nondescript they've been.
Right. Yeah. And obviously, Derrick Henry would have been the guy for a long, long time. By the way, Texans would be Andre Johnson, I would say.
Yeah. Like it's one of those where, we all know who the face of the franchise was in Jacksonville the moment they landed Trevor Lawrence. Right? There was no debate about that. Like it was Trevor, and there were reasons for it to be Trevor.
Well, when you have the number 1 pick, you don't have a lot going for you.
And so Tennessee's in a similar kind of spot with the luck that the success they've had the last couple of years. They were in position with the number 1 pick in the draft. They drafted a quarterback on a roster that's dealing with what they're dealing with. Yeah, Cam Ward.
Yeah, me too. All right, let me see here. If I get.
I'm just shaking my head. The Steelers and Dolphins, by the way, not done trading with one another.
Another deal?
Another deal.
Separate deal.
Separate deal.
Tyreek involved?
No.
We're going to have to redo the face of the franchise real quick.
No. The Steelers are also trading for Jonnu Smith.
They are.
In a late round pick swap.
I hate that.
Yeah.
The Dolphins get Minka Fitzpatrick in a late round pick.
They get Minka?
That's what Adam Schefter said. All in all, Steelers get Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith. Dolphins get Minka Fitzpatrick, late round pick.
That's interesting.
Minka must be what's going back in the Jalen deal.
Or.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which deal he goes back in.
I mean, yeah, if you tally it up, that must be the.
Yeah.
Is Jalen Ramsey better than Minka Fitzpatrick at this point?
I don't know.
That seems odd to me, right? I mean, the Jonnu thing, I get, all right, you know, Freiermuth has been okay, and Jonnu's more of the move tight end type guy. And, you know, here's another weapon, I guess, for Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying, I think Jonnu would have been more productive for you fantasy football managers where he was last year, where he took off.
It would make, I've been trying since it got announced. It's like, would someone tell me what they sent back in the trade to get Jalen Ramsey?
Right.
Please, someone just let me know what they're sending back to Miami. And then the Jonnu trade comes down and Minka gets mentioned in there somewhere. So in a late round swap, I'm like, oh, Minka's what they gave for Jalen. Essentially,
that's what they did. It makes sense if that's what it comes down to. By the way, let me just do a quick search and see how this works out. Just seeing if I guess, did Minka not make Pete Prisco's top 100? I'm guessing he didn't. Did Jalen Ramsey make his top 100? He did. He made it at 99. I don't know. That seems odd to me. I feel like Jalen is like, I don't know. I feel like you're getting, you know, like, okay, you're making a push for right now. Minka's younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That just seems odd to me. But the Steelers and Dolphins making some news. I guess Dolphins today is going off right now.
They're having a day.
For the last couple hours. All right. If you want to vote on the Jags face of the franchise, you can do that on Twitter right now. Trevor Lawrence holding down 71.3% of the vote, 20% going to Travis Hunter, 6.2 to Brian Thomas, 2.3 to Josh Hines. Now, we limited to players only in our Jaguar poll today and agree that regardless, Trevor Lawrence is probably the guy.
Yeah.
Even if you extend that out. The current one, all-time face of the franchise, Baselli/Fred.
Yeah.
Kind of thing right there. All right. Let's rip through these on the NFC side. At least, let's do this. And rather than trying to rip through them in the last few minutes, why don't we take a quick look around the rest of the National Football League? We'll break. We'll come back. We'll do the NFC and see where things stand today and see if Miami and Pittsburgh have another deal. Is DK Metcalf a Dolphin at this stage? Is TJ Watt taking up residence in South Florida? I doubt it. But Jonnu Smith and Jalen Ramsey in perhaps separate deals going to Pittsburgh. Minka Fitzpatrick and a late-round pick heading back to Miami as the compensation for
I got more details.
The Dolphins.
I can go through them here in a moment.
All right, let's do that as we go around the National Football League.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Miami is trading Jalen Ramsey to the Steelers, which will include a $1.5 million bump in pay. The Dolphins are also trading tight end Jonnu Smith to Pittsburgh for a late-round swap. Per ESPN sources, Smith will get a one-year contract extension for $12 million there from Pittsburgh. The Dolphins agreeing to trade Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith along with a 2027 seventh-round pick to Pittsburgh in exchange for Minka Fitzpatrick and a 2027 fifth-round draft pick. Coming back the other way to Miami, the NFL has informed teams, including the Athletics, according to the Athletics' Dane Brugler, that for the sixth consecutive year, the league will not have a supplemental draft. The supplemental draft is for players who have seen their college eligibility change since the deadline to enter the NFL draft. Teams making selections at any point in the seven-round draft would sacrifice their pick in the same round of the next year's common draft. The last player selected in the supplemental draft was Arizona safety Jalen Thompson in 2019, who was selected in the fifth round of that draft.
All right, there you go. Appreciate that. More on the text line here in terms of the commentary. Some good ones that this might be the best one. Several people mentioned this. I'll read this one. No way, in terms of Pete Carroll and Ashton Genty. Max Crosby, the current Raider. That might be the case. You know what?
I had him listed.
I didn't think of him right away, but he really does. He has taken a more forward-facing kind of role with the team. You see him out there.
He's the most pirate-looking guy on the team,
He's definitely a pirate-looking guy, but he's also a great player.
Yeah.
He's probably their best player. I do think that there's a tendency to look to the offensive side because that's what people do. The guys that have the ball in their hand are the stars, right? And that's probably a good call on Max Crosby. I might readjust my vote. Somebody mentioned Derek Thomas as the all-time chief. Tony Gonzalez. All that. Mahomes is considered the greatest quarterback in the conversation for the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I get it. Len Dawson, associated with the Chiefs for a long time, was a great player. I think Mahomes has passed him as the greatest Chiefs quarterback. I have a tough time putting the Super Bowls aside, on that.
Yeah.
But there are definitely some good candidates out there for sure that we didn't mention along the way. Another one for Crosby is the current Raider. That may be the case. All right, when we come back, let's rip through the NFC. We won't spend as much time on that and see where things stand as far as what you think you would vote for the Jaguars' current face of the franchise if you're only selecting from the player pool that we put forth, or if you've got another player suggestion, you can certainly send that along to us as well in a social media reply. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark. Jaguars Today rolls on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Get in the game.
On one, ready.
with 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Superstation.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
Jaguars today. You're settled into a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Weekends were made for sports, and I'll tell you my take on this weekend's most interesting option. 1010XL's Media Mogul Hicken here. Watch for Musing with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook. Made possible by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
Get him ball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all: garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up?
Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Zero Res. They want to help you clean your home or business. Big summer savings with 3 rooms clean starting at $129 and 20% off your air duct cleaning. Call them 904-287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, we're rolling through hour number 2 here on Jaguars today. Only a few weeks out from training camp, almost July, Tony. I know we're all off on Friday. Hope you are as well, July 4th. And Tony's got the entire next week off as vacation season continues to roll through these ranks. And then I'll take the week off after that. And then we'll be ready to go, locked in for training camp. And looking forward to that. Coming up, looking forward to doing a few shows down there, hopefully, from the Miller Electric Center for training camp. All right, let's rip through the NFC. We don't have to belabor it quite as much as the AFC, at least, or as much as we did. We didn't have to belabor the AFC either, yet here we are. Tony, who's the face of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Picking one, I'd pick Saquon.
Dylan?
Howie Roseman.
Saquon for me. 100% Saquon for me. Right? I mean, like, he's out there. He's everywhere, right? Yeah. He's covering Madden. He unfortunately, immortalized Jarian Jones, although they did use
yes, he did.
An actor.
They did.
In a, nondescript white uniform for the cover.
Jaguars uniform, but not quite.
But not quite a Jaguars uniform. I'd go, is it crazy we're just, skipping right past the quarterback there?
It was the other one that I would think about, but I do think Saquon's the bigger draw in people's minds.
Yeah, I do too. I think this is I get Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman is one of the most well-known, most influential, front office types. But I think people think the Eagles, Saquon is such a, if you're drafted in the fantasy draft, he may be the number 1 overall pick.
He just had among the best running seasons of all time.
Right. Went for 2,000 yards.
And they won a Super Bowl.
All that, right? Yeah. Everything that comes with it. Dylan Denmark.
I will agree with that amongst fans, but you have to think, too, they've won a Super Bowl now with this team, and about 5 years ago they had a reset button, and they had won another Super Bowl with another regime with Doug Peterson and all that.
They did.
So he's been the same person that's been running the team with 2 different coaches, 2 different teams, in the span of, 7-8 years.
Who was the Eagles' all-time face of the franchise? I really put a ton of thought into it. Most of the all-time ones, we just kind of are doing off the top of our head here.
The first guy that popped into my mind was Randall Cunningham.
Yeah.
Okay. Randall, McNabb.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Andy Reid to some degree. Yeah. Right. Dick Vermeil was. I wouldn't say he's the all-time. I'm just mentioning names that should be brought up in the discussion.
Yep.
I think. What about B.D. Foles?
I think he'd be really high among Eagles fans.
Right? I mean, he led them to their first Super Bowl.
Yep.
A year ago, would we have said it's Nick Foles?
Kelsey would probably get a lot of love from Eagles fans, too.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, because, that may be who knows? I think he could very well be a first ballot Hall of Fame center, right? He's got that kind of pedigree to him, but he is a center, but he does carry the attitude of that first Eagles championship team. And he's the reason that they do the tush push in my mind. It's we got this guy, so we're going to try this. And then it worked as well as it did, in large part because they had a quarterback that can bench a building, that can leg press a building, and a center at the quality of a guy like Kelsey. So he would at least be in the discussion to me.
All right, we got to get moving here. Cowboys.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a bunch of guys that you could list there, but Jerry being the guy. I mean, Dak, CeeDee, Micah. You can have the discussion about all those guys, but Jerry's the guy.
Right, and I would have put it between Dak and Micah Parsons, more so even than CeeDee. Even though CeeDee may be better at what he does than what Dak does, but still think of the quarterback and, the richest quarterback contract and all that. Jerry just makes it about himself, right? Yeah. So he's the owner, he's the GM. Well, I guess not technically in name, but in effect.
Yep.
absolutely went with Jerry Jones. All time, Staubach.
Sure.
I put him over Emmett. I think long-time Cowboy. Now, again, era defining, right? If you grew up in the 90s, you're like, what are you talking about? It's Aikman, Emmett, Michael Irvin, that kind of thing. Tom Landry being the discussion, right? But, all right, moving along here. Commanders.
Jaden Daniels.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy Jaden Daniels, right? Now, if it's the Commanders/Redskins all-time franchise, Joe Gibbs, Joe Theismann, I think it's Darryl Green, though, ultimately, right? You come down, you start to go through the names of all that, and you're like, wait a minute. Probably the greatest player who's ever played for that franchise, Darryl Green, in terms of how much he dominated the position he played. Who's the Giants' current face of the franchise? Let me ask Dylan first.
Yeah.
I said Malik Neighbors, but this was, him, Kayvon Thibodeau, I'm leaning Malik Neighbors just because.
Thibodeau wouldn't make my top 3 or 4, I wouldn't say. I had Neighbors, John Mara, and Russell Wilson just because he plays quarterback, but I think it's between John Mara and Malik Neighbors. Like even though he owns
the Mara family is,
he owns 50% of the team, right? Steve Tisch owns 50%, but Mara's the front-facing guy in that organization. He's one of the few owners I would consider.
Yeah. Malik Neighbors is my vote, but Mara would be the other I'd consider.
LT all time. Yeah. Lions.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
that's another one. There's so many good options among the players, but the attitude is Campbell.
Absolutely, right? He's kind of the defining piece, Barry Sanders all time. Vikings, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Only wide receiver to make your list. He's the only one to make mine.
Malik Neighbors.
Oh, that's true. We just said Malik Neighbors. Yeah. But only clear cut, no question about it. Wide
it's like
receiver.
this guy's great, as opposed to who the heck do I put for the Giants? Malik's all right.
Right. You're like, oh, there's no other answer but Justin Jefferson for the current state of the Vikings. Fran Tarkenton, who's the all-time Viking? John Randall? I don't know who the Vikings
Randall's pretty good.
Consider their all-time guy.
Adrian
Randy
Peterson.
Moss.
AP was really good. Randy Moss might be the one, right?
Chris Carter's a Hall of Famer.
He is. All right, moving along here. Face of the Bears, current face of the Bears, Dylan.
Caleb Williams.
Tony?
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, me too. Right over Ben Johnson. That's what it came down to. There's no other guy. Bears all-time Walter Payton or Ditka.
Payton or Ditka, yep.
I mean, right? Because you can't just go, it's definitely Payton when there's a whole thing on Ditka. Like everybody knows Ditka. Packers, Jordan Love.
Matt LaFleur.
I said LaFleur.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. I went with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I don't think of Matt LaFleur when I think of, and maybe I should, right? Like, my mind goes to Jordan Love much before it goes to Matt LaFleur. All-time Packer, Reggie White.
Favre or White.
Favre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those two.
And Rodgers to probably be considered.
Why Favre behind Rodgers? They both won one Super Bowl, and Rodgers has more MVPs.
Yeah. I think it's all the end of Favre's career wasn't chaos.
Yeah.
Even after he left. Right? Like when he went to other spots, though, he was still leading.
Ask Jen Sturger if his
but he was still
career was
leading
chaos.
those Vikings teams to the playoffs. Right?
He didn't throw a pick, he'd be in another Super Bowl with the Vikings.
Right. Like it felt like Favre was still Favre. Like we still saw Favre after he left Green Bay. We're still waiting to see anything close to the Rodgers we saw in Green Bay. Maybe that would change it. But right now, the way people talk about Rodgers is the way they talk about Rodgers.
All right, who's the Bucs?
Mike Evans.
Yeah, that's who I went with, too. Mike Evans. I think you think about Baker because he is the quarterback, right? You think about Todd Bowles, but I had to go with Mike Evans. Mike Evans is one of the great Bucs of all time. Who do you think of? Who's the Bucs guy? Is it Warren Sapp? Derek Brooks?
I'd go Brooks.
Right, but it's
one of those guys on defense. I mean, it's those two guys and
a lot
John
of people
Lynch.
would put Mike Allstott just because he's such a guy that like has such a definitive play style and all that. I'm sure we're forgetting some along the way, like Leroy Selman, maybe the greatest Buck of all time. But again, Dylan, you ever watch Leroy Selman?
Negative.
Of course you didn't, right? I mean, that's kind of the part of like you can go back and say, oh well, is Otto Graham the all-time? Well, clearly not because it's Jim Brown. But you know what I mean? Like we don't have that frame of reference. Who's the all-time Colt? Is it Unitas? It's probably Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Right?
The text line, by the way, is they're right. We should have mentioned it,
Lombardi. Oh, there you go. Yeah, for the Packers. That's obviously right. Obvious oversight.
Yeah.
On our part right there. I mean, the trophy is named after him, for goodness sakes. All right. Moving on. Panthers. Current Panther.
No choice but Bryce Young. I don't even know who else I could think about.
Dave Canales.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, really,
Tepper.
right? It's so. You go with Bryce Young, Dylan?
No, I went Tepper, the owner.
Oh, you did?
'Cause he's a
Okay.
little crazy.
All right.
He'll make headline news every now and
That's
then.
fair. That's fair.
And all those trades he's
spilling
done
drinks, doing whatever.
Well, the crazy trades he's done the last couple of years, and you're like,
This
they did
Steve
what for
Smith
DJ
v.
Moore?
Luke Kuechly, is this where we're at for the all-time Panther? Right?
Yeah.
Julius Peppers.
Peppers would be in there.
Kuechly, Peppers, Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Somewhere out of that group, probably.
Cam Newton probably
Sure, we
deserves
forgot.
a vote.
Cam Newton won the freaking MVP. Of
Yeah.
course. It's like, yeah. All right. Let's see. Saints. I got Kamara. All right.
I went Cameron Jordan.
Did you?
Yeah, he's in a lot of podcasts. He's very
Okay.
He's been there a while.
He has been there forever. No question about it. All-time Saint Archie Manning. Maybe
Drew Brees because they won the Super
Drew
Bowl.
Brees, yeah, it's Drew Brees. What am I thinking, right? That just shows you like the old mindset. Like I grew up all my life. Archie Manning's the only thing that was worth a damn with the Saints. Of course, it's Drew Brees. Falcons, current Falcon. Dylan, who'd you go with?
I went with the owner,
Arthur Blank.
because yeah, no,
I should have asked you what the owner's name is.
I know it was Arthur something.
Arthur
I was going to say
something.
Arthur Smith, and I know that's not him because he's the OC at the Steelers now. Who used to be
Yes.
head coach there?
Tone?
Bijan.
I went Bijan as well. He's got that Dijonnaise, man. Telling you, you can get a bottle of that for us. All-time Falcon, I go Mike Vick.
That's the guy I think of. Yeah.
That's who I immediately. For some reason, it wasn't Falcon highlights. It might have been the Eagles. I was in a bar up in Hilton Head, and, just having dinner, and they're playing Mike Vick highlights, and out of all the TVs, I'm like, that's the one I was glued to. I don't know why they were playing them. All right. Finally, NFC West Rams. I got Sean McVay.
McVay, yeah.
Over Stafford.
would be the other guy I'd think about.
Cup
but
would have been in the conversation had he stayed there. Dylan, who you got?
I had Stafford.
Aaron Donald might have been this guy a couple years ago.
For sure.
Right?
He's in the conversation for best player they've ever had.
All-time Ram, Eric Dickerson.
Dickerson's in there.
Kurt Warner.
I do think Aaron Donald's in that category.
Aaron Donald is in there, sure. I mean, Kurt Warner, with the greatest show on turf, Marshall Faulk. It was a...
Yeah.
You got some good choices there. Cardinals, Kyler.
Yep.
Who's the all-time Cardinal? Larry Fitz, right? Face of the franchise. Nobody better than Fitzgerald, right? And the
I think nobody else.
It's him.
49ers, current 49er face of the franchise.
Shanahan.
That's who I went with.
Yeah.
I like Purdy doesn't feel like the face of the franchise, even though he just got paid like the face of the franchise to me.
And like Kittle's the tight end, so
Kittle's the tight end, but he'd be the player, right? Now, even more so than McCaffrey. Like Kittle is like kind of the definition. What about Bosa? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good, but
a consideration.
Yeah. All right. So I thought this was the toughest one. Honestly, Seattle Seahawks.
There's nothing.
How many people know that Mike McDonald's the coach of the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Right?
Like you can't even go to that card.
It's not Sam Darnold.
I don't know who the coach is. I don't know who the ownership is. Like I just don't know it. So it's thinking through the players. The first player that popped in my head was Leonard Williams. And that's a lame answer.
Right. I thought of Kenneth Walker, but he's hurt all the time. Dylan and I were like, man, is it really Jackson Smith and Jigba? Like, you know what I mean? Like Metcalf's gone, Lockett's gone. I went with the 12th man. All right. Kind of cheating, but
that is their thing.
That's their thing, right? It's the fan base, right? It's the whole the Beastquake game because they were registering on the Richter scale like an earthquake after that run by Marshawn Lynch. Dylan, who'd you put?
I went with the GM John Snyder.
Yeah.
I literally had no one else to pick.
I thought it was the toughest one. Now, again, geographically, they're the furthest away.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure that, Jacksonville's out of sight, out of mind. With the exception, I do think nationally this would be a fascinating poll.
Yeah.
Outside of Florida, outside of Jacksonville, Travis Hunter v. Trevor Lawrence.
Well, they let go with a couple guys that might be the answer, right? Like they let go with two
Metcalf.
wide receivers that could be Lockett, like
Sure.
guys that everybody knew,
right,
that were on that team. They're gone. Geno could have been the answer if he was still there. Like if he was going into another year as the Seattle quarterback, he's probably the answer to this today, but he's not there.
All right, who's the all-time Seahawk? Is it Largent? Is it Marshawn? Is it Russell Wilson? Is it Pete Carroll? Is it Richard Sherman? Right, the Legion of Boom and everything that came with that.
My vote would be Marshawn.
You know, it's funny. This is Dylan and I are like, is Bobby Wagner back with the Seahawks? He's with Washington now, right? He might have been the answer.
Yeah,
he might have been the answer. That sounds like a man who's got Bobby Wagner on a fantasy team right there.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I just know he had a good year.
All right, so I think it's an interesting. It's quarterbacks maybe 50% of the time.
Yeah,
something like that. Is it? You know, when you look at the contenders, it's generally the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it is going through this kind of thing today as the thing that it's informative of is when the quarterback is your guy, it's because your team's good. Right? Like that's generally how it works. Or at least it's trending towards
or your team's good because the quarterback is the guy.
Like generally, it's not an absolutely hard, fast rule, but nothing is. But generally speaking, when the team comes up and you go, that's their guy. Like when you immediately attach the quarterback to the team with these guys, as opposed to going through some bad options and saying, well, I guess it's, Cam Ward, like you landed on him a little bit differently than you do Patrick Mahomes, obviously. But generally speaking, if the name at quarterback is what you attach to the franchise, it's generally because they got one.
Think about this one as we head to our final timeout here. By the way, somebody for the Chargers said Junior Seau, another great one. That could certainly
Hall
be
of Famer,
the correct answer. Who is the all-time Niner? We kind of skipped past that one.
Choose among the Hall of Famers.
I mean, it's Rice Montana, though, right?
Jerry Rice is where my vote would go.
Right, but it goes to the whole importance of he's arguably the greatest player of all time, but that's not what we're asking.
No.
It's like, who do you think of immediately? I still might think of Montana before I think of Rice, just due to the nature of the position. And that's not obviously, there's nothing I could say that'd be a knock on Jerry Rice that would be valid.
And that's because of the greatness of Walsh, right? Like it's the West Coast offense. We have it because of that man. And it's still revolutionizing football. It's having an impact 40, 50 years after he brought it into football. It's crazy.
All right, let's come back. We'll recap where things stand with your thoughts on the Jaguars face of the franchise right now. And we're getting a lot of good suggestions on the text line, things we may have forgotten or we just may be wrong on. And that's fine as well. So hit us up there at 641-1010 on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures if you see fit. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Buckle up and grab the wheel.
Am I dreaming right now?
It's a Sunday street race in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby!
Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower, 1010XL.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on. Temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry-fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Peaches Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at peachesdermatology.com.
Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Jaguars today.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Are you living with diabetic neuropathy? That pain and numbness in your hands or feet? What about chronic knee or shoulder pain? Maybe you've tried various treatments, but they've been ineffective. Now there's a solution. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso specializes in advanced pain management and offers breakthrough neuromodulation treatments for those conditions. His innovative treatments target the source of your pain, offering relief where medications may fall short. All procedures are performed outpatient with no hospitalization required. Just a chance for you to feel and live better. If you want to learn more, Dr. Formoso is hosting free informational classes where he'll explain the benefits of neuromodulation therapies and how they can help eliminate your pain. Spaces are limited, so call to reserve your spot now with offices on the South Side, West Side, and Jacksonville Beach. Relief is possible with Formoso spine and joint pain specialists.
Plumbing problems, AC not blowing, septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call Duck Rooter. We handle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning all under one roof. That's one call, one company, and one bill that won't give you a heart attack. For fast, reliable, and slightly ducky service, call 904-862-6769 or waddle over to duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. With over $450,000 in cash and prizes, fun starts on July 13th with the inaugural Kickoff Beach Tournament that has a $50,000 cash first place prize. There's also a junior offshore tournament and one for the lady anglers. Best of all, the winner of the general offshore tournament takes home a Contender 28T with twin Yamaha 200s. Register today at kingfishtournament.com.
Frank Franzi here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville's full of memorable sports moments. Remember Tiger Woods' 60-foot putt on the iconic 17th? Gary Coate called it better than most. Better than most. Well, Coil Fencing is better than most. They're better than all. Coil has been that for nearly 100 years. So if you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today. That's at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Tucker Equipment Rental in Neptune Beach. You just don't rent quality machines, you rent quality customer service. Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Dave. Tucker Equipment Rental has been supplying Jacksonville with equipment and event rental for over 50 years.
From commercial and homeowner projects, we've got what you need: lifts, dirt equipment, and landscape equipment.
And don't forget about event rentals, from festivals to weddings to backyard barbecues.
Local, knowledgeable, and always ready to help.
Tucker Equipment Rentals.
You need it, we've got it, come see us.
Hi folks, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, let's see. I can't believe Deion or Dempsey didn't have Deion as the all-time face of any of his teams. Why? If I don't think, you think I'm a Deion devotee?
Yeah. I don't think of him as any one team.
I would think of him more like I saw Dylan interacting, I think, with Doom on Twitter, saying he thinks of Dion more as a 49er or a Cowboy. I definitely think of him more as a Falcon than anybody. But, I mean, he's not the all-time Cowboy. He's not the face of the Cowboys. He's not the all-time 49er.
No.
He's
got a chance to be the all-time Falcon.
But to me, it's not just like who's the best player that ever played for the franchise. It's a little bit more than that. I think of Mike Vick more.
I do too.
With the Atlanta Falcons, he comes to mind before Dion does. That's my opinion.
Yep.
So Kurt Warner could be the Rams and the Cardinals, if not for a miracle grab by Santonio Holmes. Yeah, if I don't know if Kurt Warner would be the all-time face of the Cardinals if they won that game. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald would have that Super Bowl champ, too.
Like, guys, I even mentioned in that, Fitz was crazy that day. 7 for 127 and 2 touchdowns.
That's pretty good.
Right? Like, he was a monster that day. So it's not like he's,
baby.
Right? Like, it's not he's being taken down off the throne if the team won a Super Bowl and he did that. You know, that day, he would have been remembered forever. But, yeah, Kurt Warner, it's interesting. I don't think there's a whole lot of guys that, like we were just talking about Dion. I don't think of him as the face of any of the other spots like Dallas and San Francisco, but he's at least in the discussion to some degree.
Sure.
You know, in some of these, there's not a whole lot of players that have that kind of thing going on in their career. Kurt Warner probably is at the top of that kind of list of guys that
From
could
multiple
be,
teams.
Yeah, that could be.
Could
the
Reggie
guy.
White be that?
A little bit. Yeah, he was great with the Eagles. He was a monster with the Packers. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Dion finished up with Washington. He's not the all-time face of Washington. But, hey, you know what? Guess what? There's no hard and fast rule here, right? So, to one person, Trevor Lawrence is the face of the Jags. To others, it's already Travis Hunter. Let's check in on the poll. Why don't we hit today's 10-10 take, Dylan?
10-10
take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
Yeah, I definitely. We talked about this earlier. What's caught your eye there?
I just pulled up Reggie White, looking at his splits between Philadelphia and Green Bay.
Yeah.
Right. How about this to start an NFL career for Reggie White? This is sack numbers.
Okay.
13, 18, 21, 18, 11, 14, 15, 14, 13.
You saying that's good?
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Crazy. And all but one of those years was with Philadelphia. Only the last of those years was in Green Bay.
And we think of him
as a Packer.
More, right? Because that's where he went and won.
Right.
And that plays a big role in it, but he was.
Yeah, he had 124 of his 198 sacks as an Eagle.
Huh? Yeah. Maybe we should think of him more in that context, right? But that is kind of like, where did the guy win? Where did you? And Doom was interacting with us, as he is wont to do, and saying he doesn't remember much of anything that Dan Fouts did with the Chargers.
Right.
I remember it like it was yesterday. You know, the Air Coryell offense. It was, if you didn't have a dog in the hunt, it was like the most fun team to watch in the National Football League, with Dan Fouts leading that. And he was the quarterback in the game that many consider the greatest game played in NFL history, when they beat the Dolphins, in overtime, and went on to lose to the Bengals in like sub 40-degree wind chill the next week, going from South Florida to Cincinnati with the coldest day on record. But anyway, I mean, to each your own. Yeah. You think it's like Dylan's never going to tell you it's Dan Fouts with the Chargers. Dylan didn't watch Dan Fouts.
Yeah, I would say Dan Fouts, though, over Phillip Rivers.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I know that he made the playoffs and they had a really good team, and then they just, they were 30 below weather.
Rivers made the playoffs. He was more known for losing as the higher seed, I feel like,
Like in 2006 when they lost to the Patriots, and they had another good team a couple years down the road, but they didn't win.
Yeah.
So
my man played a whole playoff game with a torn ACL.
Yeah. And it sticks to the quarterback more than it does LaDainian Tomlinson. It just does. That's the nature of it.
So today's 10-10 take on the Jaguar front, all right? 71.6% went with Trevor Lawrence as the face of the franchise. I would say for today, and that's what we're asking you today, June 30th, my vote would go for Trevor Lawrence. I think barring, we're going to put injury aside, barring some kind of unforeseen flop of a rookie season from Travis Hunter, which I just don't anticipate. I think it's so low. I think his talent is such that he is going to make plays for this team. Maybe he's not going to make plays on both sides every single week, but he will, a year from now, be the face of the franchise, almost no matter what Trevor Lawrence does. Now, if Trevor Lawrence goes out and throws 35 touchdowns and Travis Hunter has like 3 of them, different story. But you already see it growing nationally that Travis Hunter is the storyline for this franchise, Tony. But I think it has to be a clear top 2. Like many people feel it is right now. I want it, when we talk about not just who the face is, but who the best handful of players are on the Jags right now. I don't know if I put Trevor Lawrence at the top. You know, comparing him, I'm not saying he's not the most important. He is the most important. But is he better as a quarterback than Trayvon Walker is as an edge rusher? I'd say no at the moment, as a for instance. You know, so if you're measuring them across positions, the importance of the quarterback position is going to outweigh almost everybody else if you've got a decent one.
Yeah.
In the NFL, but that's not really what we're asking. Trevor Lawrence is going to be rapidly passed, barring Trevor Lawrence putting it all together. And let's hope that we have this. If there's a great debate between those guys a year from now, I think it's much more likely that Trevor Lawrence exceeded or lived up to expectations than Travis Hunter didn't show us enough yet. You agree with that?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Again, anything's possible. I'm just trying to play the odds here on what's more likely.
Yeah.
Still feel like Brian Thomas Jr. is the best player on this team because he's 1 for 1 and turning in outstanding seasons.
Sure.
In the opportunities that he had. But nobody really pretty much feeling like he's the face of the franchise. He is your first pick of any Jaguar in a fantasy draft. I mean, he's a first-round fantasy pick, so there is some of that cachet that attaches to him out there. But Trevor right now pulling 71.6% of the vote. Travis Hunter down to 19.5%. He's been in the kind of the high 20s at his peak today. 7% going Brian Thomas. Only 2% think that Josh Hines-Allen fits the bill.
As an interesting aside, now I'm in Reggie White land in my head, and I was looking at his history. I remembered that he was picked in the supplemental draft, right? And so I was looking, I was like, that's interesting. Since we, mentioned today, they haven't even been able to have one of those now in 6 years. Reggie White was the 4th pick in the supplemental draft that year. 2 players drafted ahead of him went into the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
In the supplemental draft that year. What year? 84.
84.
Right. Steve Young went 1st overall to Tampa. He eventually made the Hall of Fame. Mike Rozier went 2nd. Gary Zimmerman 3rd to the New York Giants. And then Reggie White.
That's a hell of a supplemental draft.
That's crazy.
Right, I mean, that is crazy, right? Good for them. All right. That'll do all the damage I can possibly do in my return today. Thank you for tuning into Jaguars Today. Let's get you ready for Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Plenty of other good ones here on the text line, Tony. I think Julio for Atlanta. Somebody asked, are there any current players that are the all-time face of franchises?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and that's who they mentioned. Derrick Henry for the Titans. Absolutely. There's some of that
I think Lamar Jackson's going to be. Like, he's got a chance to be the face.
Derrick Henry 100% over Steve McNair?
I think so.
I don't know if it's 100%,
but
right?
That's, I'm way down here. So when I think of the Titans, I think of Derrick Henry before I think of Aaron McNair, but I can understand the argument.
And if you're doing the franchise, then you get into Earl Campbell and Warren Moon and all that stuff. Lauren Brooks is here. Hello, Lauren. How are you?
Hello. Good, thanks. How are you? And who's the face of 1010XL?
Who's the face of
Hacker. He's been the mascot forever.
It's kind of a big deal. So, I mean, who else would it be? Somebody suggested on the text line that the all-time face of Jaguars today is Holiday. He may be the all-time voice of Jaguars today, but the voice. I don't know if I've seen a picture of Holiday. Have we seen a shot of Holiday?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm not sure. Holiday could walk in here right now.
He's going to bring us at least 3 championships.
LB, what are you getting into today?
Yeah, we're going to look around the NFL and rank the divisions by wide receiver. We've ranked the divisions by quarterback, but now we're going to go wide receiver. Some teams have 2 really good ones, some teams 3. Obviously, you could look at it from the bigger perspective of adding in tight ends and pass-catching running backs. We're not doing that, though. We're just looking at wide receivers.
Gotcha. All right. Sounds good. I mean, right off the rip, you got to think Cincinnati's way up there
but
with
the
their
division.
pair. Oh, only
by division.
Okay.
Yeah. So
overall, I would put Cincinnati like right near the top.
I would say you would have to have a good argument for the Eagles, the Bengals, and the Buccaneers.
We'll see. Health of Chris Godwin and a lot of projection.
Eagles, Bengals, I'd probably have 1A.
Yeah, Eagles, especially if you're comparing the top two.
Correct.
On those teams.
Yeah, I feel like with those two, you can go even deeper than that, too.
I'm sure you can. Johnny Wilson. Let's go. All right. So we'll look forward to that today. Who's the face of the Jaguars right now?
I mean, I think it has to be. You're talking about current players. It still is Trevor Lawrence. I voted in your poll. It's still Trevor Lawrence.
It won't be for long, I don't think.
If he plays well this season, it absolutely will be. Even if Travis Hunter plays well.
I think Travis Hunter comes in with a built-in publicity advantage and fresh slate. I mean, Trevor had the pub when he came in, but he hasn't capitalized on it.
I think if he has a good season, he's the face because that's how the NFL works. Is most teams outside of Jacksonville know you by your franchise quarterback. However, nationally, people obviously are very excited about Travis Hunter. I'd love for them both to share face of the franchise.
That'd be a good problem to have.
But yeah, all time it has to be Baselli with like Freddie T right behind him.
Yeah, it's
Tom Coughlin.
Could be Coughlin. Yeah, it's probably a Baselli, Fred Taylor. Like Baselli played a more anonymous position,
right?
But he's in the Hall of Famer.
Correct.
So
if Fred gets into the Hall of Fame, then 10 years from now, it may be, I think, a different conversation. We'll also chat with Zach Alberverdi at 12:35 to talk all things Gators.
All right. There you go.
I know you love you some Gators, Mike.
I'll be tuned in. Locked in, Tony. On the edge of my seat. Lauren, have a great show.
Thank you so much.
Nice to see you. All right, there you go. Helmets and Heels. Rolling it back. Tomorrow is the Tuesday Top 5. We'll post it later on social media, looking at maybe the top 5 ingredients necessary to a winning season for the Jags this year. You know, that can be any manner of things. So that'll do it for us. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Appreciate you all tuning in and hanging with us here on Jaguars Today. We'll be back tomorrow from 10 to noon.